For this construction, we're going to dilate this triangle by a scale factor of 1/2, centered at point O. And so just like the last construction we did, where we did the dilation from a centered point off of the figure, this one is also going to expand or contract from the center, and the center is not on the figure. So again, I'm thinking about the flashlight, the idea that things expand or contract towards that center point, sort of like beams of light. And so what's going to happen here is this triangle is going to become half the size, or I should say the sides will be half the length of the original length of these sides. But because the entire figure is going to get smaller, that also means the entire figure will end up closer to point O. So each one of these points is going to move so that it is halfway between O and its original point. And then when we do that to each of the 3 points, then we will end up with a triangle that is half the size. So to start this one off, I'm going to connect points O and A together to make sure I understand the pathway that point A is going to take so that it ends up halfway to O. And I'm going to do the same thing from O to B. I need to bring point B halfway to O. And I need to do the same thing for point C. I will have to bring point C halfway to O. Now, the construction we use for halfway points is the perpendicular bisector construction. So that's the construction we're going to do. Now, this is going to create lots and lots of arcs and lots of line segments. So we're going to be really careful about the marks we're making. And we want to make sure that we are making just the essential marks. So I am making the first 2 arcs, and I'm lining up the points that I did, right? So I used from O to A, I did the perpendicular bisector from O to A, lining up the intersection points of these arcs, but I am not going to draw the line that goes through these 2 points, because there's enough lines in this diagram, it's going to get too hard to look at. I am just going to draw the point on OA that I was trying to find. That was the halfway point from A to O. And so now that I've done that, this point here is A prime. It's actually the midpoint of OA. And so now I need to do the perpendicular bisector for OB. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm drawing the arcs, but I am not going to connect those points together with my straight edge, because it's just going to get too hard to look at with all those lines going everywhere. So I'm lining it up again, keeping in mind that I'm finding the midpoint of OB. So that's this line. Here is B prime. And then I have to do from O to C. So put the bullseye on O, the slider on C. Again, perpendicular bisector construction. It's definitely much easier with the colors. If you have colors, it's not a bad idea to use them. But notice again, lining up these pink intersection points for the OC. Oops, I just moved it. And then I'm going to put the little mark there. And that's C prime. And once you have all 3 of those points, you can just connect them with your straight edge. And you can see that the triangle I just formed is smaller than the original one. And if I measured the sides, which I'm not going to do now, but if I measured the sides, I would see that like B prime, C prime is going to be half the length of BC. So we just constructed a triangle centered at a point off of the figure with a scale factor of 1/2.